Hey everybody, today is coffee cards and coffee break and cards with Lish. I'm just going to wait, and now I am live. So hello everybody, if you're here, please give me a comment, let me know you're here so that we can get started. I'd love to know who's watching today. My name is Alicia Markford, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in St. Paul, Minnesota, and in the United States. Let's see here. So today is Coffee Break and Cards with Lish, and today I'm going to be sharing with you how, table settings for Thanksgiving with the holidays coming up. So I'd like to share that all week that I have been sharing with you on social media different fall things that you could decorate your home with for the holidays. Um, so I'm gonna just wait for a couple more minutes. Did hop on just a little bit early. Gonna just wait just a little bit to see if anybody is here before I get started. Let's see. I don't see anybody here quite yet. Um, so yeah. Well, I'm just gonna get started. Um, as I said before, my name is Alicia Markfort. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. I live in St. Paul, Minnesota. I've been a demonstrator since I want to say 2022, but I have been stamping and card making and paper crafting for many years, including scrapbooking. I started in probably, I want to say, like 1999, 2000, right around in there. And then I really got into card making in 2009, I think. Yeah. And I discovered Stampin' Up! And yeah, so that's where I'm at. I love Stampin' Up! I love all their tools and their coordination of papers and cardstocks. Hi, Lori. Hi, Debbie. Good to see you guys. Happy Halloween. I know tomorrow I can't even believe it. Okay, so now that a couple people are here, I am going to hop over to my table view. Let's see here. Okay, so today we are going to make like a table setting, something like a place card, or it can double as a treat holder. So if you don't want to use them as place cards, they can just be a place setting with a treat holder. We're going to be making this today. We are going to make a napkin ring. Don't you love my fancy white paper napkin? And we are going to make a holder for your flatware. Now this will work. You can, if you don't want to make the napkin ring, you can slide your napkin in here. There is plenty of room. This is my, flatware, so it's a little, my knife is a little longer than this, but that's all right. This works perfect if you're doing a buffet style Thanksgiving dinner. You can have you could put this in like a basket, and when people are going through to grab their food and their plates and so on and so forth, you could have this there, and then you could put the napkin on the inside. So the first thing we're going to start with today is the card holder slash treat holder. If you, I did make one with a stamp sentiment, so that if you didn't want to use a name card, you could do that. It's pretty easy. It's called a tent. It's called a tent treat holder. So this is just a piece. I've already got everything already um, taken out. I already have everything done. I've had quite the day already. So this is a piece of early espresso cardstock. It is 3.5 by 5 3/4, and I've already scored it at 1 3/4, 3.5, and 5 1/4. And then I have a piece of DSP that is cut. It's very similar, and this is cut at 3 1/4 by 5 7/8, and it is scored at 1 3/4, 3.5, and 5 3/8. So this will just wrap right around this. I also did one like this if you didn't want to, like if you just had some scraps you wanted to use up and you didn't have a full piece. I just cut individual mats, and you definitely could put one on the bottom as well. So that is another choice for you to do. But I thought I wanted to try it where you wrapped all the way around. So let's start with that. So I'm going to take my glue. Well, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to use my liquid glue, but I'm going to use the big one because I don't need it to be so dainty. So I'm just going to put some glue here, and I'm not going to cover the score lines. I'm just going to go in between the score lines. And I'm just going to go like this. I'll line that up just like so. And then this just folds like this. That's all that's to this. And then I'm going to take some more liquid glue, and I'm going to put some right in this tab here. Just like that. I am going to put this on the outside. And we're just going to hold it for a second and get it a little sticky stuck. So how's everybody today? Is everybody having a good Thursday? My Aunt Peggy came over this afternoon, or no, this morning. She came over early, well, not early. I think it was probably about 10:30, 11 o'clock to come to visit. So that was nice. It was good to see her. Okay, so now this is all glued together. That's all that is to this, and all that's left for this is just decorating. And what I did was I used the for this I used the Gathering Moments bundle. So I used the dies and the stamp set. I pretty much used almost the whole suite, and the suite is called Gathering Together. And so I stamped in Cajun Craze one of the leaves, and I die cut that out, and I'm going to adhere that to the front with some dimensionals. And now when you're placing this, I'm just going to go like so. And I want to make sure, well, this doesn't stick off too far. You want it to not go past the bottom or it's not going to sit correctly. And you don't want your dimensional to go above. So I'm just going to put 2 on here. That. We're going to add it like this. I'm going to turn it just a little bit. And then I took the stamp that says Thankful for You. I thought that was kind of perfect for the table setting. And I stamped that on one of the sentiment labels from the Stylish Shape dies, and I stamped that in Early Espresso. And I'm going to tuck it just under, and it is okay that it, goes off. I kind of like that it goes off just a little bit. If you don't care for it like that, you could just tuck it in a little bit further. But I'm going to put dimensionals on that. I think before I do that, I think I'm going to add a bow. Let's see. So I have the white and gold baker's twine, and I am going to make a double bow, so I'm going to pull out a little extra, just like that. And then I'm just going to take it, and I'm going to cut this in half so that I can make my double bow. Just like that. We have a double bow. And there we have it. My double bow. And you could do it like a faux bow, but I kind of wanted to be able to mess around with it a little bit. Let's see, Lori, I'm watching my grandpups until Sunday night. It's been a little crazy. Ooh, how does the kitty like that with the puppies? Well, they're not really puppies. I've seen pictures before. Okay, I'm going to take some seal and I'm just going to put that right here where I want the bow. You see that? I'm going to stick that right on top, just like that. I'm going to put my dimensionals. Let's see, where do I want them? Probably right towards the end. I think I only need one. So we're just going to put that right like this, right over the top of that bow. And then I'm going to take and kind of adjust how that goes. And let's go ahead. Oh, I don't have any things on this side. Where did my little legs go? Here they are. They got stuck on the dimensional. My little legs, the little ends of my bow, my legs. Okay, we're going to take that and we're going to trim that off. And then we're going to trim these two off. I'm going to go a little bit shorter on the one. And then I'm just going to take some Cajun craze and gold dots, and this is part of that suite. These are so, so pretty. I just love these. And we are going to add 3 of them to our place card. I'm going to put one here, and we'll put a big one right here, and then we'll take a little and make our triangle right there. So there's your place card, and you could easily fit any type of treat on the inside. I think it would be fun to do some type of like a chocolate mint for like an after dinner mint. Okay, Lori, he's not thrilled but not afraid to defend his turf. Well, good for him. Good little kitty. Okay, so there's that first part of our table setting. What do you guys think? Do you like that? Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to work on our napkin ring. Now, this can be used with any type of napkin. It can be, you could use a cloth napkin, or like this is just a paper, just a paper napkin. It's just a white napkin. And I just have that wrapped around and decorated. It just adds a nice little extra to your place setting. So this one is really easy to do. That's all we need is right here. So I die cut one of the large, oh thanks Lori, one of the large dies from this bundle, and then I embossed it with the embossing folder that belongs with the gathering together suite. I think it's called Falling Leaves, maybe. Oh, thanks, Debbie. And I know my original, I'm going to grab this here so that we can take the silverware out before I stab myself. And here I used a piece of DSP. It's from the Regal family, the Cajun Craze. And then I did add, I don't know if you can tell, there's another die that goes inside of the cutout leaf that makes the little holes. I did on this one, I don't know if you can see the little holes. So I did do DSP on this one, but I thought, I wanted to try one with cardstock and use the embossing folder. So the first thing you want to do is I cut a piece of DSP at 1¼ by 5. Now we might have to trim it down. It just depends on your napkin, what you're using. So you could go like this is a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. You could cut it by 1 by 12 and just see what you need. But this one I cut at 5. I'm just going to take and I'm going to add a little bit of seal. And then I'm going to take my napkin here. Oh, I have another napkin. We're going to take, and I took my napkin, my square napkin, and I just started from the corner and I folded it just like this, but not too tight. And there you have your, just trying to take it and smoosh it down. And then I'm just going to take the DSP and I am going to wrap it around like so. And 1 by 5 works pretty good for this. You don't want it too tight because you don't want to have your guests struggling to get it off. And I mean, if you have napkin rings already, you could easily add on little decoration to the napkin rings you already have. I personally do not own napkin rings, so I just thought this was neat to make your own, just like so. And then I put the seal or the seam here in the front because this is going to cover it up so it looks like there isn't a seam. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put a dimensional right on my band, my napkin ring, so that I know exactly where it needs to be. And I'm going to actually put 2 on there. So we make sure that it stays. Okay. I'm going to take these dimensionals off. I'm going to take my die cut leaf and I'm going to angle it just a bit. I'm going to press down. And then I stamped and die cut some leaves and branches and some little berries and an acorn from the stamp set. And then I am just going to have this to see, I suppose. I'm also going to use dimensionals on these. And I'm going to start with, I did a crushed curry leaf. And I'm going to take it, I'm going to put a dimensional on there like that. And I'm just going to keep it just like this right on my napkin. And I'm going to make an arrangement. And I'm going to take one of the branches or leaves and I'm going to stick it, I think like that. So I know I want my dimensional about right there. Like so. Take it backing up. Put that right there like this. And then I do have another one. And I did this one in pecan pie. This one is crumb cake. And I want it to go like that. So I know my dimensional needs to go right here. Like that. Take the backing off. We're going to put it just like this. So it's basically like making a card. This is like the focal point for your card, except you're making it on a napkin ring. So now I have my little berries, and I did these in Cajun craze, and I want this to go kind of like that. So it's just going to be where I'm going to put my acorn, and I am going to add a dimensional right here to the back. And peel that off, and I'm going to kind of tuck it underneath that crushed curry leaf, but I want it just a little bit tucked there. Okay, then I'm going to take my acorn. My acorn is going to go like this over the top, and I'm going to do another dimensional. I'm going to put my dimensional more towards the bottom of my acorn, just like that. And then we're going to go kind of, let's see, not straight on, but just a little bit. I want it to cover up this little gap right there. I should have put, okay, so I should have put the pecan pie leaf up here and the crumb cake one down here. I wonder if we could still move it. Nah, just leave it. If you do it and what colors you're gonna make, see my acorn's the same color as my leaf, and that kind of bothers me a little bit. Okay, Lori, remind me, are all these items from the same bundle? Yes, they're all from the Gathering Moments bundle. And then I'm gonna take that same white and gold linen thread. This is actually from a set. It's you get a black and gold and white and gold baker's twine, and this actually belongs to the, I mean, you can order it separately if you want. It belongs to the Modern Christmas Suite. And I'm just going to get my glue dots. I'm going to put, so I tied a bow and put a little glue dot on there. And then I'm going to cut the, because I usually leave it on the spool before I cut it off a lot of times. And then I'm going to just put this right at the top of the acorn. Just like that. Pull on the little tails there. Trim the ends off. And there is your napkin ring. I like that. I think that's so cool. It just is, even if you just had this, you could even put your silverware right in here. Like if you had, you could just shove your silverware right in there and have that also. So there we have that. We'll put this off to the side. And next we are going to make our flatware holder, silverware holder, whatever you'd like to call it. I'm going to take a little sip of my coffee here. So what are you guys doing today? Thanks, Lori. Yeah, I like both also. I like the DSP one and I like the cardstock one. So I'm still drinking my coffee. That's pretty normal, but it's, I don't know, I feel kind of chilled today. I'm not sure if it's the weather outside or what the deal is. Oh, thanks, Debbie. I just think, it's nice to, you can just add, it doesn't have to be anything overly fancy, but sometimes when you just add something just a little bit to your table, it just, I think your guests, they do notice it, and I know my mom does it. It's just everybody is like, "Oh, look at that. How cute." It's just it it makes everything feel extra special. And it's just so cute. And it gives something like for people to talk about when they're sitting down to dinner. So, all right. So, for this is another easy one. Like I said, these are actually relatively easy things to do. There, you have plenty of time before the holidays too if you wanted to do this. Okay, so this is a piece of early espresso cardstock. I cut this. This is 11 by 3 3/4, and I scored it at 7 1/4 to make my pocket. Now, you could score it, at a different point. If you wanted it to not go up as far, you could have it go down lower. Or if you want it, you could go up a little bit higher, even. But then you just have to adjust your size of your DSP for how you're going to decorate it. Okay, so we have this. And then I have a piece of DSP that is cut at 3.5 by 7, and this will be the liner for our holder. And then I have another piece of DSP. This is 3.5 by 3.5, and this is the other side of this paper. And we're going to put that on the front. Let's see, dealing with dogs and prepping retreat. I have not done anything for retreat yet. Ugh, I need to do that. Okay, so we have that. And then we're going to decorate again with another one of these larger maple leaves. There are 2 leaves in this set. There's an oak leaf and there's a maple leaf. So I just really like maple leaves, so that's why I chose that. I did the same thing. I cut this in Cajun Craze and I did emboss it with that falling leaves. I can't remember what that's called. Something leaves embossing folder. It goes with this gathering together suite. And then I stamped and I fussy cut the word gather, and I did this in early espresso. And that's it. So let's just put this together. It goes together super easy. And you just want to, for this, I'm using liquid glue because I don't want a very wide tape to go across so that you have more space in your pocket. This I am going to use my detailed glue. We're just going to run as close to the edge as we can. And we're just going to do a small line like that. And one right along here. And then we're going to go right around the bottom. Just like that. Very small strand of glue there. And we're just going to, oh, before we do that, let's put this in there. Ha, I caught myself. And this I'm going to use good old seal. I just think this paper is so gorgeous. It's got the gold accents in the vines, in the veins of the leaf. So pretty. Whoops. Not watching what I'm doing. I don't have it laid down yet, so I'm still okay. Okay, let's start over here. I'm going to pay attention to what I'm doing. Still not straight. What am I doing? Maybe I cut it crooked. That could be. Been known to do that before. Okay, there we go. Oh, you haven't gotten very far either, huh, Lori? Okay, so we're going to take and we're going to... I guess we didn't really need to put glue at the bottom. I wasn't thinking. So you probably just need to have it at the sides because it's already closed because it's scored. Okay, we're going to give that a minute to sit. And then we're going to take our piece of DSP that is 3.5 by 3.5. And I just did the wrong side. Oh, I tell you, this is how I have been lately. Right, Debbie? I'm going to grab another piece here and recut it. If I have another piece. I think I do. Yeah, I might. I'm going to grab some leftover here. We're going to cut it on this side. And we're going to do 3.5 by 3.5. Okay, let's start this over. I'm going to put the glue on the leaf side so that the other bee side shows up. Okay, start over. Okay, then we're going to just place that with even margins all the way around. And then we're going to take our leaf that we die cut out of the Cajun Craze, and we're going to put dimensionals on that. Just use it? Well, yeah, I could, but I'll probably save it. I'll stick it to my silicone mat, and I'll put it on another thing, a little card or something. Okay, So now we're going to put dimensionals on our leaf. We're going to make sure it pretty much, we just don't want to go too far on the edges. Yeah, I think that's good. We're going to take our backings off of our dimensionals. I'm going to take this and we're going to angle it. Oh, the other one I put the other direction. We'll put this way. And then we are going to add some seal to the middle of our leaf. And we're going to take that white and gold ribbon twine again, or baker's twine, and we're going to do another double bow. So I'm just taking it like that to make sure I have enough. And then I just cut it. I'm just going to take it and tie it into a bow. And like I said before, you could easily do the faux bow method where you lay it down on your leaf. I just want it to be able to mess around with the tails and things like that. Okay. I want to make sure that my gather that we're going to put over the top. Yep, so that's good, I think. And so we're going to add dimensionals on the word gather that I stamped and fussy cut. And I'm going to make sure that I think I'm going to use a mini as well. I thought I had minis sitting here. Yeah, I do. And we're going to put a mini on the other side because it's skinnier on that end. And take a little mini and we're going to put it right there. Like that. Okay. And then we're going to put that right over the bow. And then I'm going to trim the ends off like that and make sure I'm going to cut a little bit off of these because they look a little frayed on the end. Let's make a fresh cut. And then we are going to add the Cajun craze and gold embellishments like we did on the place card. And I know that I have a pick tool somewhere. I don't know where my stuff is lately, but oh, there it is. It's hiding. It's way back in the corner over here. Okay, so I'm going to take a big one and put it right here. I'm going to take a little. I'm going to put them right down here. I'm going to take a middle. I think this is a middle. Take a middle. And we're going to put that one right over here. So here is your silverware holder. That's all it takes. It's just making a pocket with some cardstock. And we want to make sure that we don't glue that together. And there's your pocket. Just like that. So here, bring them in. So I did use the two different designs of paper to give you a little, and so because I used the plaid. And this is actually the back side of this DSP. And then here's this one that goes there. This one goes here. That one goes there. Just like that. So what do you guys think? Do you like that? I do. I thought this was I love the colors of fall to begin with. So for me, it was just, oh, just so pretty. So let's see. I need to get this DSP and the beautiful pumpkin bundle. And yes, I said need. Yes, you do need it, Lori. Honest, truly, this paper is just this specialty paper that came with this Gathering Together suite is just gorgeous. Thanks, Debbie. So I hope you enjoyed this today with the coffee and um, cards. I guess they're not cards, but the coffee and paper crafts with Lish today. If you have any questions anytime, just feel free to reach out. You can either email me, you can go to my website, you can go to right here on Facebook and send me a message on Facebook. I'd be more than happy to answer any of your questions. And yeah, if there isn't any questions right now, I think that's all I have for today. Like I said, thank you so much for joining me. It means the world to me that you did. So I think I'm going to sign off and see you guys later. Talk to you later. Bye.